One more, everybody together. Haribol, Haribol. One more, a little louder. Gopinath Radhe Radhe Radha Gopinath Radhe Radhe Radha Gopinath Radhe Radhe Radha Gopinath Radhe 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 Radha Gopinath Radhe Radhe Radha Gopinath Radhe Radhe Radha Gopinath Radhe Radhe
Swami the Bhakti ki jai. All glories to the All glories to the Thank you very much.
WhatsApp-Nachricht könnte es um eine Überraschungsparty gehen. Eine Kette, ein Laserschwert oder ein
Krishna Maharaj, my brothers and sisters.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj, for coming for today's class.
The GBC.
Yes, sir. Small.
Mm.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you. I'll put the verse on the screen, please.
Okay. So we can start now.
Yes, Maharaj. Now can start, please.
Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna. Prasai Bhutale. Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Tina Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shaitan Vinishi Gaura Karuna Sakti Bhakti Tirtha Nami. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasai Bhutale. Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tina Namaste Saraswati Devi. Gauravani Pracharana Jarivasesa Sunyavadi Pastacharya Satari. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakayan Chakshulunmalitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Pishtam Sapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yuttapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopi Sai Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Savana Siti Devi Pranamami Haripriya Ponchakal Pataru Vyascha Kripa Sandhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9. The passing away of Bhishmadev in the presence of Lord Krishna. Text 23. Bhaktya Veshamano Yasmin Vachayan Nama Kirtayan Tyajan Kalevaram Yogi Muchyate Karma Karmavi Bhaktya Veshamano Yasmin Vachayan Nama Kirtayan Tyajan Kalevaram Yogi Muchyate Karma Karmavi Bhaktya Veshya Mano Jasmin Vachayan Nama Kirtayan Tyajan Kalevaram Yogi Muchyate Kama Karamavi. Bhaktya, with devout attention. Aveshya, meditating. Manaha, mind. Jasmin, in whose? Vacha, by words. Jat, Krishna. Nama, holy name. Kirtayan, by chanting. Tyajan, quitting. Kalevaram, this material body. Yogi, the devotee. Muchyate, gets released. Karma bihi, from fruitive activities. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The personality of Godhead who appears in the mind of the devotee by attentive devotion and meditation, and by chanting of the holy name, releases the devotee from the bondage of fruitive activities at the time of his quitting the material body. Purport. Yoga means concentration of the mind detached from all other subject matter. And actually, such concentration is samadhi, or 100% engagement in the service of the Lord. And one who concentrates his attention in that manner is called a yogi. Such a yogi devotee of the Lord engages himself 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord, so that his whole attention is engrossed with the thought of the Lord in ninefold devotional service, namely hearing, chanting, remembering, worshiping, praying, becoming a voluntary servant, carrying out orders, establishing a friendly relationship, or offering all that one may possess in the service of the Lord. By such practice of yoga, or linking up in the service of the Lord, one is recognized by the Lord himself, as it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita, concerning the highest perfectional stage of samadhi. The Lord calls such a rare devotee the best amongst all the yogis. Such a perfect yogi is enabled by the divine grace of the Lord to concentrate his mind upon the Lord with a perfect sense of consciousness. And thus, by chanting his holy name before quitting the body, the yogi is at once transferred by the internal energy of the Lord to one of the eternal planets where there is no question of material life and its concomitant factors. In a material existence, a living being has to endure the material conditions of threefold miseries, life after life, according to his fruitful work. Such material life is produced by material desires only. Devotional service to the Lord does not kill the natural desires of the living entity, but they are applied in the right course of devotional service. This qualifies the desire to be transferred to the spiritual sky. General Bismadev is referring to a particular type of yoga called Bhakti yoga. And he was fortunate enough to have the Lord directly in his presence before he quitted his material body. He therefore desired that the Lord stays before his view in the following verses. That ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to text 23 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, entitled The Passing Away of Bhishmadev in the Presence of Lord Krishna. The previous speakers on this chapter have extensively described the personality of Bhishmadev in many ways, his birth, his activities, his previous lives, and many other activities. One of the special things we get in Bhishmadev's life is teaching us the way to live the body. Pure devotees, they have many teachings they have to give. They have practical teachings they do with their life. Bhishmadev taught us, among other things he did, how a devotee should live the body. So in this particular verse, it is said, the personality of Godhead who appears in the mind of the devotee by attentive devotion. Attentive devotion. It's important point for us. Attentive devotion. That means there are devotions which are not attentive. In other words, it is not everything we do in Krishna consciousness that is devotional service, or that is Krishna conscious. It is not everything. Otherwise, you will see such words: attentive devotion and meditation. And here also Krishna is speaking about Gita. He's asking Arjuna, did you hear me with an attentive mind? And also you see Prabhupada is asking, devotional service in pure Krishna consciousness. Those carry very powerful messages to us, especially for those of us who are listening. or those of us who are very serious in Christian consciousness, we really need to hear. Our attention is being drawn here. And we need attention. Christian is asking, did you hear me with an attentive mind? Because there is the effect of hearing with attentive mind is different from the effect of hearing without the attentive mind. The effect of devotee engaged in attentive devotion and meditation is different from a devotee who is engaged in devotion without attention. In other words, they are teaching us that we have to understand the science of Bhakti, not just doing things, but it has to be done for the purpose it is meant. Devotional service is an offering to Krishna for Krishna's pleasure by the devotee. The devotee shows his or her love to Krishna by what we offer to Krishna and to Krishna's representative. Here, Bhishma Dev is teaching us that we need to have, if we want Krishna to appear in our mind, if we want Krishna to appear in our mind, then there is a need for attentive devotion and meditation. Attentive devotion and meditation. And Srila Prabhupada would describe that as especially at the best time of our life, which is that time, the time we're quitting this body. The time we're quitting this body is very, very important in our life because that shows the result of what we have been doing from time before this time. From the time we begin our Christian concept, or begin our life, till the time we are quitting the body. The time we're quitting body will tell exactly how we have lived our life. For devotees, that is the best time because it will determine our going back to Godhead or not to go back to Godhead. So here, the personality of Godhead who appears in the mind of the devotee, how? How does Krishna appear? Attentive devotion and meditation. And by chanting of the holy name, the chanting of the holy name, attentive chanting, attentive hearing, attentive meditation. And Prabhupada said yoga. Listen important. Prabhupada said yoga means concentration of the mind detached from all other subject matter. Attentive mind, attentive devotion. While one is doing our activities for Krishna, we don't have to think of anything else except Krishna. That is yoga. Concentration of the mind, detached from all other things. The same way with our chanting. This principle applies to all our life in Krishna consciousness. Actually, such concentration is samadhi or 100% engagement in the service of the Lord. 100%. 100%. This is not to mean that it is something that will just happen just as soon as you take beat, you want to change, then we are on that stage of 100%. No, this will take some time. Steady practice. Steady practice will bring us to this point of having attentive devotion, attentive meditation, attentive chanting of the holy name. It is so powerful. It's so powerful. How powerful is it? It is mentioned here that it releases the devotee from the bondage of fruitive activities, especially at the time of quitting the body. That is the result. The result of attentive devotional service. Concentrating the mind on Krishna. in the sixth canto, chapter 2, the last verse, Mr. Papa mentioned in the purport. It is very, very important for all of us to, this time when we have a better situation. Better situation means our pain is not too much, our enjoyment is not too much. Our pain is not too much, and our enjoyment is not too much. The suffering is not too much, the enjoyment is not so much. It is moderate. So this time, we can distinctly pronounce the Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 and Hare Hare, and hear it. Concentration of the mind, Propensity Samadhi, or 100% engagement in the service of the Lord. And one who concentrates his attention in that manner is called a yogi. It's a yogi. Linking. The point is, Lord Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita, Manmana, give me your mind. This is what Krishna required. Give me your mind. Krishna consciousness means donating our mind, giving Krishna our mind. So give our mind to Krishna. The minds have to be given to Krishna. Because the mind is the main thing, is the main senses. Even though the intelligence is very powerful, the mind can influence intelligence. And the mind has been doing that. Therefore, the process of trying to become a devotee or control the senses depends on how the mind is engaged. How the mind is engaged. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told us, the mind which is focused on Krishna is a friend. And the mind which is left to do whatever it likes is the greatest enemy. The mind. So here we are looking at the mind. Attentive devotion requires how we position the mind. That is the yogi. The yogi is trying to capture the super soul with the help of the mind, by the mind. And for that, they have to practice withdrawing pratyahara, how to withdraw the senses from all external engagement. Withdraw the senses from all external engagement and bringing it into a focus. That is yoga, concentration. In Krishna consciousness means that we are practicing regulating all the senses to do what? To be focused on Krishna, so that at the time of death, Krishna will be present before us. Krishna will be present before us when we are released from the bondage of fruitive activities. The bondage of fruitive activities. Such a yogi, devotee of the Lord, engages himself 24 hours daily in the service of the Lord, so that his whole attention is engrossed. Engrossed. The whole attention is engrossed with the thought of the Lord in ninefold devotional service, namely hearing, engrossed, hearing, yes, chanting, remembering, worshiping, praying, becoming a voluntary servant, carrying out orders, establishing a friendly relationship, or offering all that one may possess in the service of the Lord. By such practice of yoga or linking up in the service of the Lord, one is recognized by the Lord himself, as it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Disconnected?
We can hear you, Gurudev.
Oh. Are we back now?
Gurudev, looks like the recording has
Maharaj, it's okay now.
Okay.
Go on, please.
Okay. Yes. As it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita concerning the highest professional stage of samadhi, the Lord calls such a rare devotee the best amongst all the yogis. And properly referring to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, it's 47. I will get the proper referring to in here. At the last verse in chapter 6, Krishna has given his conclusion. Yoginama pi sarvesam matgatena antaratmana. Sudevan bhajate yo mam sa me yuktatamo mataha. Of all yogis, and of all yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, he think of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service. To me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. Krishna said, that is my opinion. That is my opinion. When Krishna said, that is my opinion, Krishna is telling us to Arjuna, my opinion is what? What is Krishna's opinion? Param Vacha. That's Krishna's opinion. Not in the mundane way. In the philosophy, if you say some opinion, okay, that is your own thing. It has nothing to do with me. But when Krishna said, that is my opinion, Krishna's opinion is Param Vacha, the supreme word. It's a supreme teaching, the supreme authority. And it is left for us who are intelligent, who are wise to follow that. Those who are wise to follow that. Param Vacha. So that is the highest yogi, the best of all yogis. He's a devotee of Krishna who constantly thinks of Krishna. In fact, he is very intimately related with Krishna. Very intimately related. Very intimate relationship with Krishna means one who cannot do without Krishna. And Krishna cannot do what him. That is the intimate relationship. The highest yogi, not other processes, not otherwise. Others are not described here to be an intimate relation. And so many other yoga processes are there. They are not intimately related with Krishna. Because their yoga is not aimed at getting Krishna the supreme. It is to get something from Krishna. Mystic power from Krishna, position from Krishna, whatever else is there, materially speaking. But the yogi who is considered the best is one who has nothing to collect from Krishna. He simply have to render service to Krishna for Krishna's pleasure. That makes one an intimate associate of Krishna. Yes. The Lord calls such a rare devotee, rare because not all yogis are intimately related to Krishna. A rare devotee, the best amongst all yogis. Such a perfect yogi is enabled by the divine grace of the Lord to concentrate his mind upon the Lord with a perfect sense of consciousness, and thus by chanting his holy name before quitting the body, the yogi is at once transferred by the internal energy of the Lord to one of the eternal planets where there is no question of material life and its concomitant factors. A devotee who is intimately related with Krishna is transferred to Goloka, where there is no anxiety for anything but to serve Lord Krishna. The arrangement here is made by the internal energy of Krishna, internal potency of Krishna. For non-devotees, their destination is arranged by external energy of Krishna. The highest yogi's position is transcendental. Therefore, a yogi in devotion does not need to calculate the time you're going to leave the body. So General Bismade was such a yogi. He was such a yogi. He was very intimately related with Krishna. Very intimately related with Krishna. So intimate. And Krishna gave him a special service to glorify him. Krishna liked to glorify his devotees, and Krishna tried to glorify. Devotees try to glorify Krishna, and Krishna also tried to glorify the devotees. The competition is eternal, and devotees always win. Devotees always win. Always this question is there. If Bhishma Dev, General Bhishma Dev is a Mahajan, is a devotee, an intimate devotee of Krishna. Why he fought against Krishna? Bhishma Dev never fought against Krishna. Bhishma Dev never fought against Krishna. Never. How can you say that? He's on the other side. Bhishma Dev is on the other side for a special devotional service. Here, Krishna properly talking. Such a perfect yogi as Bhishma Dev is enabled by the divine grace of the Lord to concentrate his mind upon the Lord with a perfect sense of consciousness. Perfect sense of consciousness. And thus, by chanting his holy name before quitting the body, the yogi is at once transferred by the eternal energy of the Lord to one of the eternal planets where there is no question of material life and its concomitant factors. Bhishma Dev is never against Lord Krishna or the Pandavas, and he never fought against the Pandavas. Never. On the battlefield of Krishna, we saw him the other side. Which other side did we see? What did we see with Bhishma Dev? The other side, with the Kauravas, with the Dhira. That is not the perfect scene. On the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Arjun was fighting the enemies, but Bhishma Dev was on the other side facing Krishna. Between Arjun and Bhishma Dev, who was seeing Krishna? Arjun was not seeing Krishna. Bhishma Dev was seeing Krishna continuously. So what is doing the other side? What is he doing the other side? He is that side so he could do his devotional service for Krishna. What is devotional service for Bhishma Dev? Krishna has 12 rasas, 12 rasas. 12. The primary one are 5. The secondary one are 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. One of them is chivalry. So Krishna like to fight, want to show his strength. And who can give Krishna the best service? Is the devotees. All the devotees know how to satisfy Krishna. So Bhishma Dev was the other side to give Krishna the spirit of fighting. And Bhishma Devi gave it to Krishna so much to the point that Krishna jumped down from the chariot, broke his promise, and was running towards Bhishma Devi. His chariot fell off. Krishna didn't see. So the arrows that the arrows that Bhishma Devi shot on Krishna's body were not different from the lotus flowers you devotee offered to Krishna. They were not different. In fact, Krishna enjoys that more than the lotus flower which some of us will offer to Krishna. Therefore, Bhishma Dev devotional service is superior to that devotional service of Vyasadeva. The difference, the devotee service of Krishna. Second thing, if Arjuna, if Bhishma Dev was an enemy, Krishna would have come before him, which himself appreciated. Even though I followed Krishna severely, the battlefield, I turned his body dark, even by the arrows, but the dust raised by my arrows. Yet he has very graciously come before me at the best time of my life. Why? Because Krishna appreciated the devotional service of Bhishma. He's very intimately related to Krishna in the devotional service. And Krishna enjoys that. Therefore, he is maintained by the internal energy of Krishna, the internal potency of Krishna. He is not under the external energy. And Krishna came before him while he's quitting his body. In a material existence, a living being has to endure the material conditions of threefold miseries, life after life, according to his fruitive work. Such material life is produced by material desires only. Devotional service to the Lord does not kill the natural desires of the living entity, a living being, but they are applied in the right cause of devotional service. That is what Bhishma Dev stood for. Bhishma Dev, he applied his skills in devotional service to give Krishna pleasure. This qualifies the desire to be transferred to the spiritual sky. And Prabhupada confirmed that. General Bhishma Dev is referring to that particular type of yoga called Bhakti yoga. And he was fortunate, yes, he was fortunate enough to have the Lord directly in his presence before he quitted his material body. He therefore desired that the Lord stayed before his view in the following verses. General Bhishma Dev ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Adisha Maharaj, thank you so much for your class. If there's any question, can you raise your hand up? And
I want to thank His Grace Srivas Vanachari Prabhu being with us, His Holiness Bhakti Charadesha Maharaj, me and all other devotees here. by their mercy, we were able to say something. I hope there's one or two things we can get by their mercy. Hare Krishna. Comments or questions?
Thank you, Maharaj. My question is, it seems that Krishna liked disobedient devotees before he can come to them. Like Bhishma was fighting against him, opposite the Pandavas. And we have seen that throughout the scripture, anybody who's against Krishna, he may attract his attention easily than devotees who are serving him with love. So why are we really practicing devotional service, going through stress? Why not just become demons and let him appear fast?
Some years ago, I was thinking like that. I think it's better as I should just start acting more demonically than what so I can get this. I was meditating on that for a long time. I think I should better do this because it's the easiest way to get Krishna. To practice bhakti, it will take a long time, and there is a chance of misbehaving, committing or offenses. You just become a demon, just attack one devotee. And yeah, Krishna will come. I was thinking like that for some time, and then Krishna shows some light. You see, if you become a demon and attack a devotee, Krishna will appear. We will be merged into Krishna's body for Krishna's effulgence and not going back to Godhead, which is another punishment if I change my mind. I didn't start to think like that again, I stopped. So if you are become a demon, we may not have the fortune to have that devotee who will remember to call Krishna. It's not easy. You must have some qualification to be able to have the chance to meet a devotee whom we will attack, that will call Krishna, and Krishna will appear and help us. Everything depends on karma. So we have to check that first to see if we have that karma. Otherwise, better we don't go there, because we are going to get merged into the body of Krishna or the effulgence of Krishna. And that is another great punishment. You should not do it. Bhishma Dev was not against Krishna in any way. But Krishna specifically arranged that Bhishma Dev should stand on that side so he can give him the fight which he wanted. As I mentioned before, only a devotee can satisfy Krishna with devotional service, with service that will please Krishna. Therefore, Krishna put a base yogi, Bhishma Dev, on the other side. And Bhishma Dev gave that service to Krishna. As a result, Krishna is coming before him. Not even coming before him, Krishna gave him a service to do, to preach to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Krishna made a situation so difficult that Narada Muni couldn't convince Yudhishthira Maharaj. Vyasdev couldn't convince Yudhishthira Maharaj. Krishna himself couldn't convince Yudhishthira Maharaj because he reserved this service only for Bhishma Dev. And Narada Muni knows that, Vyasdev knows that, Krishna himself knows that. But still, they participated to make the drama wonderful, to make the drama tasty. They participated. So Bhishma Dev was not devotee, he said devotee. This is what we should learn from Bhishma Dev's life. as I started in the beginning, that there's so many things to learn from Bhishma. Many previous speakers were talking extensively about that. All right.
Thank you, Maharaj. Next question is from Sahadev Prabhu, please.
All right, Sahadev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much. Thank you. Maharaj, my question is, I don't want to ask about Bhishma Dev because he is very confusing to me. And I hope at some point I might have a little bit of understanding of his actions. But my question has to do with how does one attain Krishna's mercy? Because there may be two devotees, all of them are struggling so hard sincerely, yet one bloops and the other doesn't bloop. So what makes the two devotees, one that was struggling so hard to be dedicated to the Guru and Krishna bloops, and the other one doesn't bloop? How does one attain Krishna's mercy and the other person doesn't? Hare Krishna.
It is not true. It is not true that one is sincerely serving Krishna and the bloop. It doesn't work like that. Never. Never. We should see what is happening. We should see what is happening is that a devotee may be externally struggling, using his or her ability, material ability, but inside there's no love for Krishna. Krishna will expose the devotee, and that will mean that Krishna is not protecting his devotee. That is not true. It is not possible for one to work very hard, very sincerely for Krishna and blue. It does not work like that. Before our time, years back, sages gathered to discuss if it is possible that a devotee who is 100% surrendered to Krishna and sincerely serve Krishna can have anxiety. The conclusion of the seminar was that no, it is not possible. It's not possible. So we are not seeing what is inside. We see externally and think that the foolish person, a cheater, is a devotee, is struggling sincerely. And His Holiness Bhakti, he wrote so many prayers. In one of them, he's teaching this, he's answering this. How can a sadhu be so miserable? How? How is that? How can you tell me? Are we saying that Krishna is not capable? Is that what we are saying? It does not happen like that. And the proof is that you'll see that those who are living does not have as much problem as those who are not living. So the question is, why those who are having more difficulties are not living, and why those who are having less difficulties are living? The answer is that we are not so sincere as you are saying that they are sincere. They are not. No one can sincerely serve Krishna and give up Krishna consciousness. It is not possible, Prabhu. It is not possible. We get the mercy of Krishna from Krishna's pure devotees. That is how we get the mercy of Krishna. The mercy of Krishna is not with Krishna. The mercy of Krishna is with Krishna's pure devotee. Nityananda Prabhu in Chaitanya Bhagavad, he demonstrated that. He traveled to all the holy places, all the pilgrimage places. He traveled extensively until the day he met Madhavendra Puri. When he met Madhavendra Puri, Nityananda Prabhu fainted unconscious in ecstasy. Madhavendra Puri fainted unconscious in ecstasy. When they regained consciousness, Nityananda Prabhu said, yes, today is the perfection of my pilgrimage. I have visited so many places. Everywhere I went, I met the temples empty. When he said he made the temples empty, means he didn't see the love of Godhead in all the things people were doing. But he was able to meet the love of Godhead in the body of his pure devotee. And didn't enough people confess that Krishna lives, resides in the body of his pure devotee. That is where you find Krishna. You find Krishna, you find love of Godhead. You find the mercy of Krishna, confirmed by Krishna himself. Namam Tishtanti Vaikuntha. If you go to Vaikuntha, you will not see me there. If you go to the heart of the yogis, you will not see me there. Where will one find Krishna? When Krishna's devotees are sitting down and chanting his glory. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is where Krishna is found with his devotees. Krishna lives in the body of his devotees. The measure of Krishna is with Krishna's pure devotees. Bhishma Dev fought Krishna for Krishna's pleasure, not because he hated Krishna. The Pandavas, not only Bhishma Dev. 640 million people who fought in the battlefield of Crusader went back to Godhead because they fought out of duty, not because they hated the Pandavas. But the Kauravas who hated Krishna, they didn't go back to Godhead. They went to heaven. Does it make sense to you?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much.
Are you confused about Bhishma Dev?
Thank you, Maharaj.
I'm understanding a little bit, but thank you, Maharaj.
Devotional service Bhishma Dev rendered, I mentioned, Prabhupada said is superior to that of yesterday. Yeah, we can see that he shot arrows. Arjuna was shooting arrows not on Krishna, but Bhishma Dev shot arrows on Krishna, but he was seeing Krishna and Arjuna was not seeing Krishna. Whom do you think was better in love for Krishna?
Bhishma.
So, all right.
That's why we should be attacking Krishna like Bhishma Dev.
You have the quality of Bhishma Dev. If Krishna will enjoy your arrows, do it.
Yes, Maharaj. We have a question from Galaxy A50. Please unmute. Who is this in Galaxy A50?
Sati, it's your turn. Ask that question.
I was wondering, if someone's following, because in your last Sunday peace class, you said something about, like, if you follow somebody faithfully, you'll get liberated. Ravana's wives were following him and were dedicated to him, so they would, even though he was acting incorrectly, they would still get liberation. So I was wondering about if someone, like a devotee, has a guru that's acting in ways incorrectly. I just had this in my mind because we were at New Vrindavan and my husband likes to learn about the history of New Vrindavan. So I was wondering about, that there's many devotees that were dedicated to Kirtananda, and like, they're so dedicated to him and they have love for him. And even to this day, many do. And I was just wondering if a devotee has a guru that's acting in ways incorrectly, but they followed him faithfully and they have firm faith and they have love for him and believe in him. What happens to that devotee? What happens to that devotee?
They're foolish.
Oh.
They are foolish. A guru should not act him properly. That's why he's guru. He should act properly. Right? What do you say bona fide? What do you say bona fide? Bona fide. Bona fide means all these activities are they are proven in the scripture. This is bona fide. His activities are proven in the scripture. The activities are they correspond with the chariots. That's bona fide. It is what Krishna said. That's bona fide. So if one is following someone who is not, if one who is one who is following a guru that is not bona fide, doing everything opposite, and if someone faithfully follow that, is foolishness. It's better to serve a demon who is not a devotee as a servant. You get promotion, because according to the Vedic system, if a servant, a Shudra, if a Shudra serve a master, even if it's a demon, your duty is to render service to your master. Even if you're a demon, you'll be promoted in your next life.
I was having that question too, because our country right now is like divided. It's like everybody's like wanting this president, like in everyone's lawn, there's a sign for this president, and there's a sign for another president. And our country is divided between like Trump and the person who's president now. And I was wondering also about that, yeah, if someone is like faithfully like devoted to Trump or faithfully devoted to this person, like what does that benefit them, you know? So that's, you also answered that question. I was curious with that. So it's better to be devoted to a demon than to be devoted to a guru who's not acting properly.
If you are devoted to a demon and serve him faithfully, you get promotion. A Shudra, you become a Vaishya in your next life. But if you are serving someone who says a spiritual master, is a bona fide, someone who is serving Vaishnava tradition or culture, is serving someone who is not acting properly. Thank you. Who is behaving improperly, is not following the tradition, not following our bona fide tradition. Both of them are not going anywhere. Where they are foolish. And Prabhupada mentioned blind following and absurd inquiries. Inquiries are condemned in our tradition, in our system. Blind following and absurd inquiries, they are condemned by Gita 434 purports. Should not be blind followers. You should know what it means to be a guru, but be bona fide.
Thank
All
you.
right?
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you, Maharaj. We have another question from Sahadev.
All right.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. My other question is, I mean, it is said in the scriptures that the Vani is more important than Vapu. That's what the scriptures say, so I do accept that. But can you help us to have a better understanding? Because I'm thinking that even though scriptures say that, but it is the Vapu who spoke before we had the Vani. And
Yes.
so if the Vapu is not that important, how can the Vani be important? Some devotees with this, I don't know if I should say shallow, but I think it's a shallow understanding up to a point that they would prefer to read a scripture without hearing from a living scripture, which is the Guru. So if you can help us understand this in a better way. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Vapu and the Vani, they are bona fide. Both are bona fide. Both of them are bona fide. But Vani is superior. When you have two things, there's always one which is superior. Why is that superior? Why is that superior to the Vapu? The relationship we have with the body will change. But the relationship we have with the spiritual master in his word, the eternal. For example, you see, now Slapapa is not physically here, but his teachings are still going and still giving shelter. And disciples who are attached to the body may be doing hero worship instead of Guru Puja. But those who are connected with the spiritual master, spiritually connected, they will continue to relate with the spiritual master even when he's not physically present. In fact, even better. A disciple will show he is connected with the spiritual master better when the spiritual master is not physically present. In fact, if you want to know a good student, it's not only when the teacher is in the classroom. It's when the teacher is not in the classroom. After teaching and is not in the classroom, it is then you know who is a best student. You see, the temple of Vedic planetarium is going on when it's properly not physically present. The offering is still going on there. If we don't have appreciation for him, then we're not going to, you can say, well, it's so proper, it's not here, so there's no need to do this thing. There's no need. No need to do. What are we doing it for? He's not here now to see it. That means we are low class. Like here in Nigeria, Gurudev has his beddings and his shoes and his plate and cups, and so some of the things Gurudev used personally. I was keeping them, but I was in India when the Gurudev was leaving the planet. Before I came back, the devotees here have shared everything. So, and I came out and made everything empty. And I happened to meet some of the devotees who I said, Prabhu, why did you do this? This is an offense. So, Gurudev, you're not going to use them again. So it's for us. Do you understand that? It's a low-class disciple. Low-class disciples who does not know the importance of Vani. They think that the Guru ends with the body. That is the understanding. What kind of a devotee is that? Or disciple is that? Low class, third class disciple. The Gurudev said fourth class to be rejected because actually they're not devotees. Even the third class. So what is leading to this kind of mentality? Because we are attached to the body and not attached to the essence. We are singing that Chakshudan the Lord Jay Janme Janme Prabhu say, is it the body? It is not the body. But we see that everything ends with the body. Therefore, we can do this whimsical, decent footing. So the instruction is very, very important. Not that the form is not important. The form is important. The instruction is, the teachings is important. The services we do to the spiritual essence of the spiritual master is most important. And we should go for that. It is scriptural injunction that if the spiritual master is a physical, we should try to do physical service. But if that time is not there, we should not just end there. We should do what is important. Service his instructions, serve his teachings, to serve his mission. What is established, we should continue that. That is what will qualify us as bona fide disciples. Does it make sense?
Yes, Maharaj. Very much, yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
I asked that because I have come across quite a few devotees who do not seem to pay attention to the physical body of the Guru. They only concentrate on the Vani, which, like you explained, is improper. So now I have a better way of explaining something to some of these devotees when I meet them.
Yeah. They don't have a proper understanding. That is a problem. Because proper understanding is missing. It's very easy to make offense, and that is a problem when neophyte devotees. So we have been saying many times that being a neophyte devotee is very dangerous because you can do all kinds of sinful, whimsical things, all kinds of offenses. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any question? Does anybody have any question?
Maharaja, I have one question, please.
Okay, so
In the paper's last paragraph, Prabhupada mentioned that, what is it? This qualifies, okay, devotional service to the Lord does not kill the natural desires of the living entity. This gets me thinking, devotional service to the Lord does not kill the natural desires of the living entity, but they are applied in the right course of devotional service. This qualifies the desire to be transferred to the spiritual sky.
Yes.
But understand this. The spiritual sky or Vaikuntha, I thought there was no material desire, but here he's saying the desire is qualified to be transferred to the spiritual sky. Yes. And it's also said devotional service does not kill the natural desire of the living entity.
Yes.
But we are told to detach from material activities, material desires by pure devotional service. And here it seems to be contradicting what we have been hearing all these years. That by devotional service, one loses the taste for anything mundane.
Yes, it's Prabhupada is addressing the impersonalists, Mayavadis. That is certainly referring to the Mayavadis who think that our individuality or devotional means no desires. No desire. There's nothing like desirelessness. Desirelessness means no material desire, but the spiritual desires is there. So properly referring to that, when he says he's referring to that, not a devotee. He's not saying we should maintain our material desire, but the impersonalism, Mayavadi's philosophy is that we should kill desires, so become desireless. Prabhupada said no. Desire should be applied in Krishna consciousness to satisfy Krishna. And that will qualify us to go to Goloka, Vaikuntha.
Thank you, Maharaj. We have a question from Maria WV. Can you unmute?
Yes, Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, actually the question is from a devotee in the chat box, and I don't know if everybody saw that one, but Venkatesh writes, Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for your association. What to do if I am in severe body pain now? Your servant Venkatesh. Hare Krishna.
Oh, thank you very much. If you are in severe pain, please take pain reliever. So you can be free from pain, so you can do your job. Please do that. All right, please take care of your pains. Take some medicine. It is not Maya to take medicine. It is not Maya. We should take care of the body so we can do our sadhana nicely. So please take medicine so we can get pain relief. So you can practice nicely. All right. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Can we end it here?
Maria, do you still have a question or you don't?
No, that was it. I was just afraid we were going to miss that question, so I put it out there. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
In the absence of, so we ask all devotees kindly unmute yourselves. Let's chant Hare Krishna to Maharaj for coming, please. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare. Jai. Jai.
One more, everybody together. Haribo, Haribo. One more, a little louder. Radhe, Radhe, Go.